Hey everybody, Scorpion here. So we're going to strip this heat pump. It is intact right now. As far as I know, everything's still there. I just pulled one out of the stack. And I'd been asked before to do a video on taking one apart. So y'all stand by and let's see how this goes.
Rock bottle on the track, boy.
Alright, so I'm start by getting rid of this. So that's the fan. It's bolted to the top. Hey, I guessed right for a change.
Yeah, that's a first.
That don't happen often, no.
No, sir, it does not.
Then we're going to go around the top. Take all those out. Alright.
Where you want it?
Set it aside.
Got it?
I'm gonna go ahead and cut these wires right here next to the motor.
Same?
Yep.
Got it.
Then I'm gonna take the rest of the screws out for the panels.
Something's holding it. Oh, down at the bottom.
Pull it up. I need that other extension to make this a whole lot easier. Hang on.
Oh,
There's still lots of screws to go.
yeah, apparently. You want to get the screws out from in here too, or no?
Give me a second.
Okay. Sorry. Yes.
Missing one.
Always.
Always one hiding.
Always.
There we go. So I'm going to clip these wires right here at the compressor where it's going in. And then y'all give me just a minute, I'll bring you back to show you what I do with that stuff. Alright, so here's this stuff. You have to be careful with your capacitors, especially if it's a fresh unit. If it's a fresh unit, it's going to be holding a charge, and it'll make you wish you were dead. So you be careful of those. That's the rest of the screws, so now they're out of the way. This little piece right here, that's going to be aluminum.
What do you want to do from there?
That's actually, just hold on.
Okay.
That's actually going to be cast aluminum. Just so y'all know. This goes with shred. So some people just cut this off. I pull them off. Normally try to use needle nose pliers to do it because I don't want to really cut them, and a lot of times these are corroded on there, so I'm trying to pull them off without cutting them. But I cut all these ends off and test them and see if they're brass. That adds up fast. This is your wire that come out of the inside there. No other screws. Quite often these have brass on them, the screws that come off the contactor, so I set those aside to test. You've got your brass pieces in here, you've got contacts in there that have silver. Most of the time this is going to be brass. You've got, this can go into small motors, or you can take it out, take the wire out, whichever or however you want to do it. And I will bring y'all back to show you more teardown of the unit. Alright, so we've got another screw over here holding the cage on.
Right here.
It's normally just a couple at the bottom, 3 to 4 that hold that. Pull the coil out after you cut one side, which one side's already cut. So I'll go ahead and cut this side. So there's your coil. And you want to get in here, cut your pipes on compressor. Number 1 copper. There's no joints in it. There's no joints in this. All the way to here. So there's another piece of number 1 copper. Let's see what's holding this in. I don't think I've got any regular pliers with me. Oh, that might be loose. That side's not though. Anyway, these have a leg that go through into the back side of this plate here. If you take the nut off the back, then it comes loose, and as you can see, it's color brass. So I can cut this pipe here. Cut this one there. I can cut that joint out. So this piece is going to be brass. So your joints, like this right here, same as this where I cut this one out, that's number 2 copper. Less, you get paid less, so you want to cut close to the joint but still want it to be clean. Then this becomes number 1 and this becomes number 1, which is a higher price. I mean, you can cut them out here, but you're losing money, so you want to cut them close. So I'll cut that side off, then I'll cut this side off. So number 1, number 1, and number 2. So I'm gonna try to set everything together so you can see it. So these are not hard to take apart. All right, so that piece is brass. So I'm gonna take this off of here and then I'll bring y'all back. All right, so shred, you've got your screws that come out of it. They can go in a shred. I normally collect them by the 5-gallon bucket. Once the 5-gallon bucket gets full, I set it with a shred. You've got that shred. That's what come off of it. You've got your compressor. There's 4 bolts in the bottom that have to come off of it. Then you can sell it as a sealed unit. This bottom piece would then go with shred. I did not bring anything big enough to take that off with me, so yeah. But yeah, you can sell that as a sealed unit, or you can use a grinder, cut it open, take the compressor out of it, and take the wire off of that. To me, that's just too much work. It's not worth my time. It's a lot more money, but it's not worth all that sweat and tears and crying and belly aching. Number 1 copper. So as you can see, there's no joints. Number 2 copper. This is where the joints are. Brass, and these are heavy. They add up fast. All right, and then you got your electric motor. So this is where your yards come in. Every yard's different, so you have to kind of find out. Some people can toss these just as they are with this fan blade on it as small motor. Some people have to take the blade off. Okay, some yards, because refrigeration ran through these tubes, it goes as number 2 copper instead of number 1. So sometimes it all goes in together. Depends upon your yard. You have to find out, and they'll tell you. Also with these, if they're on the back like this, let's see if I can flip it up a little bit better. So if the screws are on the back, you can take your screws out. The cover comes off. You can take a fan blade off, tap the other end, it'll drive the centerpiece out, and then you've got all your windings that were in the centerpiece, and that, if there's windings in the centerpiece, a lot of them are solid now. But some yards will let you toss that solid centerpiece in as prepared steel, which is a couple cent more than shred. So you can set those in a different stack. So that's pretty much everything on the AC unit. There's the compressor to take apart, which I'm not. There's plenty of videos out there on that. I don't plan on doing that. There's this to take apart, which I will, but not in this video. And then you've got this left to take apart to get the brass out of it, and then get the coil and the silver and the contacts out. And I've already posted a video on that a few videos back. I did not tell you about the capacitor. This goes in a shred. It's basically just like aluminum sheets inside of them. Purpose of a capacitor, it stores power. So when the compressor cuts on, this discharges the power that it's stored to go along with the already, you know, voltage, and gives that compressor an extra boost to start, and then it stops. So this is just, it discharges. Now the compressor's running, and this is charging back up for the next time it needs to discharge to get the compressor running. But that's the purpose of a capacitor. It just stores energy. So, and there's your wires from it. Hope that was helpful, and we'll see you next video. All right, so 2 things before I go. This is your other type of motor. Right here. Turn y'all around. They're too difficult to get apart. You got to drill each one of those out all the way around and everything else. They're just a pain. I'll send these as motors, small motors, just as they are, to the scrap yard. Of course, I'm gonna come back and cut this wire off of here. But yeah, they'll go with small motors like they are. This is my stack of other motors that I'll take apart. As you can see, it doesn't have that ring around it here. It's just back here. You take those out and then it comes apart. So huge difference between the two when you go to try to take them apart and scrap them. And I will do another video on that, I'm sure. And then this right here, I'll do a video on this too. But this side is the noodles that are dirty. So this is your dirty copper noodles. It's number 2. You can go back and cut those portions off and make this number 1 and that number 2 if you want. That's up to you. Most people just cut them off, drop them in a bucket and roll. There's a little bit more cut number 1 copper, number 2 right there, and all of that's number 1 up to right here where my finger is down. This side is your clean copper noodle side. So if you look on this side, when you cut these off with a saw saw, and I'm gonna do a video on this, there's no attachment areas where it's been soldered together, so these are clean, number 1. So that is pretty much it for those. As you can see, I still got everything from our get together. I have not touched any of it yet. This is the first time I've had a chance to get over here. I've still got more to add to that. I've got a few on the trailer over here from previous stuff I've done. So I got that to add. I got those to clean. I've got that one to clean now. And there's still a couple more back there. If y'all can see them next to the fridge. So I'll eventually get all that done. I'm gonna do a big weigh out. Waiting on prices to come back up. Once I get everything clean, it'll be stacked waiting. So catch y'all next time. Hope y'all doing good.